Hello everyone, this is Tommy, aka Knowledge, and welcome to part 5 of my beginner's guide on how to play Smite 2. Today, we're going to be exploring a new game mode. We're going to be exploring the game mode of Joust. So far, we've talked about damage and we've played some arena, one of the main game modes of Smite, but now it's time to jump into a new game mode, Joust. Okay? This is all in a build-up into the main game mode, Conquest. So arena was just a 5v5, and you'd pick a character and you'd level them up throughout the game, build items, and it was just kind of like a constant fight fest. Okay? Joust is the first stepping stone into Conquest, where there's objectives, there's towers, it's only 3v3, there's a lane. So some of the themes that are going to come up in Conquest, which we'll probably actually get to in the next episode, are going to start to be prevalent here in this game. Okay? As you can see, the game has been patched recently, and as a result, it's been a pretty buggy patch overall, unfortunately, and so some gods have been disabled. I did check which gods were disabled, and it shouldn't affect us in any meaningful way. So I'm in a custom lobby here, and I'm just going to start the match with just myself in it, and we're going to go take a look at the map. And then after this, we are either going to jump into a player versus player joust game or a quick play joust game, or maybe both. We'll see. We'll see how we're feeling. But we want to get the basics in first. So let's go ahead and pick a god that can move a little bit faster. So keep in mind that Rama, whenever you use an ability, you get some movement speed. So this just helps us get around the map a little bit faster, and it'll allow us to show off some key aspects of the Joust game mode. Okay, so you're going to load in. In Joust, you start at level 3, just like in Arena. And so I'm just going to pick up a few things real quick, and then I want probably this to start off with. Okay, we'll leave ourselves a little bit of gold. We'll level up our abilities, and so on the right hand side you see the mini map. Okay, so first thing I want you to notice is that right here, this is a Titan. Okay, the objective in Joust is to get to the enemy team's Titan and kill it. Okay, so this is our Titan, so we don't want this to die. You can see it has a health bar and whatnot. It's got a nice, cool look. Okay, so that's something we have to defend. Right in front of it is our Phoenix. Okay, so when we get over to the other side of the map, I'll show you that it actually does damage. Right now it has a protective shield around it, as you can see, because it cannot be attacked. Okay, right here in front of us is a tower. Okay, this is our tower. It has different segments of health, because as damage gets taken to it, the other team can get gold from it. You can see it has a health bar as well. So in order to get to the Phoenix, you have to destroy this tower. Okay? And then in order to get to the Titan, you have to destroy the Phoenix. In Joust, there is also camps. So this is a mana camp. What it does is it can give you extra mana. There's like a little side jungle area over here. This is the lane. This is the main part where fights will occur. And there's also going to be minion waves that spawn in the middle. Okay? So in Arena, you also saw minion waves, but in Joust, they do not like lower enemy ticket counts or anything like that. They are the primary source of XP and gold for your team. And so we're just going to go ahead and clear this here. And so yeah, as you can see, we're getting gold. The gold rate is not quite as substantial here, right? And we can start doing damage to the enemy tower. Okay? And so you can see that the minions also do damage to the tower, which is important. And so right there's a little pop-up about tower bounties. Okay, so now you can see that my minions have left the tower, and so I am taking damage. Okay, and so you can see I was only level 4 there, and within like 4 tower shots I was dead. Okay, so a key part to Joust and in the future Conquest is that you cannot just go for the enemy towers and phoenixes right away. Is that you have to slowly, level up your character, get items to become more powerful, and that you also need to play around the tower mechanics, where usually you want minions or a tanky character to go into the tower before you, and then you can go and do damage to the tower without taking damage yourself. All right, that will become more apparent when we actually jump into a game. Over here, we have a damage camp. This just enhances your damage. There's a teleporter here, so we'll go ahead and take that. So if you hit activate, it pops you up over here. There's a major objective over here that spawns. It's called the Noble Knight, I believe. It's some sort of knight. When you kill it, it'll disable either the enemy tower or the enemy phoenix, depending on which one is still alive. If it's only the Titan left, it doesn't disable the Titan, but you can still get gold and XP off of that, though, which is important. This is a strength or intelligence buff, depending on which stat is higher. And there's just some bushes here. You can place down your ward. Definitely highly recommended. This is the enemy camp. So you can see if I walk over the Phoenix here, right, I can't actually do damage to this. And it quickly does damage to me. So another thing is that the towers and the Phoenixes ramp up their damage. So the longer that you're taking damage from it, the more damage you will take per shot. So keep that in mind. We'll heal up here a little bit. You do occasionally get these, like, they're not like major siege waves, like you don't have like the big siege minions, but they are kind of like a little bit tankier, and they throw rocks to the tower, which means that they do more damage to it. So we'll go ahead and keep chunking this thing down. We'll let the minion wave go there. I do want to get to the enemy Titan, so I kind of do want to take these things down. So of course there's no players, right? So they're not going to there's no players to fight back or push my minion wave in the other direction, right? Ooh. Alright. So hit this. So you can see the enemy Titan down there, right? And then their base is down there as well. And so I think that's really the important parts of Joust, right? Is that you have a lane now that you have to take care of. There's actual towers and phoenixes and titans that you have to kill. Oh, it's called the Lost Knight. Okay, that's what it's called. Yeah, so you can take this. But this also, like, does damage to you, right? So you can't just, walk in there at a low level, right? You need to build up your strength and get items and whatnot. So that is the very basics of Joust, okay? So I'm going to hop off of that match. And, okay, whoops. Oh, that's, yeah, you have to surrender. So that actually is an important thing that I've not pointed out yet, is that in games, your team can start a surrender vote. And if 4 of the 5 players in Arena and Conquest vote to surrender, the game's over. If in Joust, I think it's 2 out of 3 have to vote to surrender. So if you're losing really badly, you can go ahead and surrender. That of course can be a source of contention, but that is an option available to you. Let's see. Do I want to hop into a quick play to show you guys, or do I just want to go into a player v player? I'm just gonna hop into a player v player game because I just think that, like, the quick player, we're just gonna be mowing them down. So this way it'll hopefully be a little bit more competitive than it might otherwise be if we just got into a game with bots. So we'll wait for it to find us a match. Since there's only 3 players on your team, you can only queue with two other players if they're in your party. So do keep that in mind. That does have an effect. The game time is usually maybe a little bit longer than Arena. I mean, Arena games tend to go 15-20 minutes. Yeah, Joust games usually go about 15-20 minutes. So nothing revolutionary there. So we'll just patiently wait for a queue here. As I just kind of scroll through the gods here and see who's disabled. There was some, like, movement speed issues yesterday, and I think there was probably some more issues that were discovered or whatnot. So, and it's pretty funny that the new god right now is Discordia. She was, added in the last patch, and then all of a sudden, like, the game has probably been the most buggy / broken it's been since release, to be honest. So, the goddess of strife causing quite a bit of strife when it comes to the game right now, which is very interesting.
Select your
Alright, so Joust, right, is also a little more of a tactical game here as well, right? We're building up to conquest, right? Picking just any god is not necessarily going to be in your benefit. So I'm going to wait here to see what my teammates do. Okay, so both my teammates went damage characters, so I definitely want to play a tankier character here for my team. Otherwise, I mean, ultimately, you can kind of go anything if you know what you're doing. But if you don't know what you're doing, it can quickly go badly for you if you don't understand the pros and cons of having a team that's only all damage, right, with no tankiness. And that's something that will likely become more apparent to you as we get into conquest and explain strategies and builds and positioning and, you know, what to prioritize on the map, right? That will become more of an apparent issue. So let's see what I want to go here. They have a decent amount of CC. So we're gonna go that. We're gonna go shell for our team. And what do I want to go first in terms of defense? Yeah, I really like the...
Why can't there be more wine?
So we're gonna load up on some potions. And yeah, I think that looks good. So we'll go ahead and walk out of base here. So I'm not in comms, right, with anybody that I'm playing with, so that makes it a little bit more difficult. Usually you either want to start at the blue buff with your team or contest the red buff versus the enemy team. But ultimately it kind of depends where your teammates position. I know that this Janice is probably going to want this mana buff, so I'm gonna help him out with it. And you also have this like free ward, right? You have your Curio here. This is very powerful in Joust because people like to flank you all the time. So getting those use a free resource that you have. It's free to use, so you know, put them out when you get the opportunity. So got the minion wave here. So they're going to be using abilities to clear it. I'm going to be using my abilities to clear it. Alright, so they're heading for the red buff over here, so I definitely want to, you know, be in the range over here, right? I don't want to let them get this for free. I'm gonna try to stun their backliners here. We got the red buff, so that's good. That's a W. I'm gonna try to peel here for a little bit, getting you guys space so our teammates can get out. Okay, that was almost a really good portal there. So that was the beads out on the Discordia. So people's relics are powerful, right? So Discordia can now more easily be crowd controlled, so... Alright, let's go up here and clear this. One other thing is that if minions enter your tower and then take damage from the tower, they give you less golden XP. So... sometimes you want to, you know, keep the minions outside the tower, but sometimes you just have to take the loss, right? You can't... Like dying is worse than getting less farm, right? So don't panic about losing a little bit of farm under the tower, but because dying is worse. So and you don't want that, because then you'll miss out on even more farm when you're dead. Right now the respawn timer is pretty low, but as the game goes on, the respawn timer is going to get more and more, and you're going to be missing out on more and more stuff here. So, yeah, oops. Okay, so that little bar there by the Janus gives movement speed, and you can actually go through his portals. So that is a good bit of mobility here. Okay, this guy is going to. Okay, good. The Janus didn't die. Okay, I thought he was going to die. These little red things on the ground right now are Artemis's traps. If you walk into them, since she's not aspect, you will be rooted. So I don't want that to happen. And our Medusa is out of position here quite badly. I tried to stun the chalk. Okay, she got out. That's good. Okay, Janice just needs to Alright, so what I just did there, I'm using VGS, where I'm telling my teammate to retreat. We'll go over VGS, VGS probably after this game, actually. I think that I probably should have mentioned that before the game started, but it's a good way to communicate with your teammates about what's going on in the match. So, like, as you can see, my teammates aren't here to help me clear this, so I'm just trying to stall for time and make sure that they can't push the tower too easily. Okay, so let's get our item online here. So like our camps respawn after some amount of time, but we can't really go for that right now. Okay, our Medusa's dead. She's gonna die to that. So, okay, our Janus is finally moving again. Not sure what was up with that. So it's like I can see that the Artemis is low on mana, right? So, but unfortunately, I don't think we're really going to be able to punish her for that. You can also notice that my Janus, because he was sitting in base for so long, has also lost quite a bit of farm. He's low on levels right now. So that's not ideal at all. So, and they just took the red buff, so... Like, yeah, and you should be grabbing these camps. Don't know, like, the red camp is gone, so they should definitely go over here to this. You want to be maximizing your farm, right? So, and leveling up as quickly as possible, usually, instead of, so, like, and like, you get XP, you get a little bit, you get reduced XP if you share a camp with somebody, but it's beneficial for you to share camps with your teammates. So that they also level up with you. And yeah, I think I'm gonna have to give this up because yeah, I'm not gonna be able to fight into two of them. So
Your middle tower is under attack.
okay, so this Janus is a completely new player. He does not know what he's doing. Do not build Transcendence on Janus. Janus is a purely intelligence scaling god. So you should not be building strength on him. So,
An ally has been slain.
what did I want to go next? They had a couple. They do have some CC. I'm gonna go with this next. I'm not super concerned about what I'm building at this point. Like this game is not looking great right now.
Your middle Phoenix is under attack.
So. Oh, okay. Oh, wait, what? Wait, how'd the Janus die? I'm gonna try to stun him here. Maybe Medusa can maybe get a kill or two. I'm gonna ult here. See if we can kill this Chalk. He's not running out. Okay, well, we got the kill. So, yeah, if you're in the back line there, right, and your front line goes in like that and full commits and ults, right, you should usually follow them in. Also, since I'm the tank, I'm gonna remove some of these traps just to remove some annoyance. So we can do that. I'm also not sure. So right now I'm not sure where their other two players are, so I really don't want to push the... Okay, there's a Discordia. I don't know where the Chalk is, and he could come from any direction, really, so I don't want to get caught out of position here. Yeah, see, like that. Yeah, so, like, Medusa now in a really bad spot. I'm gonna shell her. Okay, I shelled her. I bought her a little bit of time, but not enough, unfortunately. I'm probably gonna die here, though, too, so... Yeah, so he's gonna ult me there. I'm just gonna let the Janus know, just a friendly tip here, like, hey, don't build strength. You don't have any strength scaling on your god. This is why you read the abilities on your god before you go into a game. Okay, I'm also walking out of base here. What do I want to go next? Probably... I really don't know what I want to go next. Usually you want to have an idea of what you want to build next, but in Joust, like, I'm not entirely sure what I want. I'm actually going to go with the Charm here. That might help keep my teammates alive a little bit longer. So... But it's definitely one of these things that as a veteran player, I know what Janus does and doesn't do and how to build them. And new players are not necessarily going to know that, so. So here, right, I want to leave my abilities up in case they show up, and they, of course they did, so. Trying to keep the Artemis off of them. Oh, what the? Okay, I just got like snapped into that. Yeah, that guy died. Well, but they're dead, so I'm just gonna run. Yeah, there's no chance I was gonna save them.
Killing spree. Your middle phoenix is under attack.
So this charm just gives you a little bit of health, but I don't think it's really gonna matter. I mean, we're getting smacked here.
Your Titan is under attack.
So right now the minions are tanking the Titan, right? So I want to prioritize clearing that. Okay, our Medusa's going in. We'll see if I can. Oh, I overlapped that, unfortunately. I'll drop that real quick. Give her 1 health regen. He missed. So I mean, also a big part of this game is just like hearing the enemy abilities and trying to juke them so you take less damage. Medusa decided to go in there. That was a Janus ult. Okay, again, what the hell? Why did I don't know what's going on there. Like, I'm getting like snapped into these traps, but. So she used her Aegis, but you can still CC somebody when they're Aegis, so. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to save this Medusa. Maybe I can. Yeah. Can't do that. Our Janus is completely out of position right now, so. Again, when we get into conquest, we'll talk about positioning, but that's something that hopefully, as you've started to play arena, you've started to notice that, yo, hey, you can't be too far away from your teammates or just running in alone, because that will most certainly get you killed. I mean, I'm not. It's 10 minutes. I'm not a fan of. I'm usually not a fan of surrendering arena and joust games because crazy things can happen. But my teammates voted to surrender, so that was a very quick game. Unfortunately. So Janus could definitely use watch one of my guides there, to be honest, because you should not be going strength. So I'm just gonna tell him to watch a video here. He died. Medusa's build, yeah, I mean, it's not great, but it is what it is. So they also went agility relic. Like, yes, they start you out with that relic in quick play, but I personally don't think it's a very good relic. I think it teaches you bad habits, and having beads or Aegis or Shell, even Sunder, usually provides a lot more value than being able to like do a quick dash. And with the amount of movement abilities that are in the game and how quickly people can get on top of you, so what if you dodge one movement ability, right? There's going to be another one that's going to come after you, so there's that. You can see that I did more damage than the Janus, so your tank should not be doing that. But we did get a god token though, so that's nice. One thing I do want to do is go hop into a jungle practice real quick. There is also no Joust tutorial, so Hi-Res, if you're watching this, I do think that a Joust tutorial might be valuable.
Your god.
But I'm gonna go look up Neath here. I'm gonna show you guys VGS real quick. This is when you're in conquest, it's extremely valuable to communicate with your teammates who may not be on the mic or be able to hear you. If you have your mic enabled in game, I do recommend that. Okay, so let's start with this. Some advice here. Maybe not. I'll say that for the conquest episode. I won't say it here, but let's introduce VGS. So by default, if you hit right stick press on controller, I think it's V on keyboard by default, it opens up the VGS menu. Okay, you also get a little icon in here. So the first thing you can do is you can ping the map. Okay, so if I hit RT, I can ping the map. It's also auto attacking. I don't remember it doing that. Oh, okay. So, and if you do ping too much, it will stop it because it is annoying for your teammates. That is the other thing that you can do is that, actually, I don't think I have that menu in game. You can mute people's VGS and voice and text chat. But also keep in mind that on console, you're not going to have access to the text chat, right? So that's also something that's valuable on PC, right? Is you can type out a message and be like, hey, you know, you're doing something wrong, or hey, you know, you should do this, or hey, like this would be a really good item to build, right? You can give suggestions. You don't need to be mean about it, right? Just point out and be like, hey, I don't think that this was the best thing to do, or hey, I really think this item would be valuable for our team. That's something you can do. But it also, if you hit right stick and go back into VGS, you're going to see a menu here, okay? And it's going to give you some buttons that you can press. And so what this does is that if I hit A, and then I hit X, it's going to tell everybody on my team, it's going to give them an audio message, and it's going to pop up in the text chat, say, hey, attack left lane, okay? And I can go, so I can go attack, I can go attack right lane, right? I can say that I can say that our team needs to retreat, okay? That they need to run away. There's also, like, this is how you use your emote in here. You can, you know, tell people that they did a good job. You know, you can tell people to defend. There's all sorts of nice things. You can tell people that, you know, they can take their jungle buff. So you can, it's a very useful tool. There are a lot of different combinations in here, so you'll slowly learn them over time. I mean, by far the most useful ones are the attack menu. Like, all of the attack menu is pretty good. Like, you can tell them to attack objectives or to attack different lanes. The defend one is also quite useful. So those ones are the most, definitely by far the most useful. When we get into conquest, calling out that people are missing from your lane is also quite important. But in Joust and Arena, you're gonna know you should know where everybody is with some amount of intuition. So yeah, I guess since we have a minute here, because that game was so short, I want to talk briefly about relics. You can upgrade your relics to an actual item. You don't have to have the tier 1 relic to get one of the tier 3 relics. You can just build straight up a tier 3 relic right away. So I can go Aegis even though I don't have, you know, the tier 1 Aegis selected. And so these give you some amount of stats based on what items you have built. Some again are better than others. So, like, when we're taking like tier 1 relics, right? We got 6 options, right? If you're a damage character, most of the time you're going either beads or Aegis, okay? So what beads allows you to do is you get immune to crowd control for 2 seconds, and Aegis makes you immune to damage for a little bit. But you can't use abilities. So the key difference between beads and Aegis is that with Aegis you cannot use abilities while it's active, but beads you can. So it really depends on what the other enemy team has. If you're a damage dealer, or what you want to go. If they have a lot of high burst damage abilities, Aegis is going to be better for you. If they have a lot of CC, that's going to lock you down and prevent you from moving and prevent you from just using abilities, right? Purification beads might be the way to go. Blink, I wouldn't really recommend this in either Arena or Joust. This is definitely more of a conquest thing. Shell is a very good relic for supports and can counter certain gods' ultimates because it can allow you to pass through player-made walls. So that's like Odin ult with like the big cage, or a Ymir wall, or a Ho Yi wall. Those are just a few examples. Or a Yamoja ult, okay? In those cases, it's almost a must build, just so that you can have that flexibility and allow your team to get out. So that's a very good relic for tanks and front lines. Sunder, again, this is mostly a conquest-based relic. It can do damage to people over a decent amount of damage too over a period of time. So in that perspective, since it does do extra damage is never really too bad, but you know, sometimes having that extra bit of defense is beneficial. And then of course there's the agility relic. Yeah, I just don't, I mean, it's a low cooldown, but you know, in the chaos of this game, I just don't think it's personally a very good relic, but there's going to be people out there that think it's the greatest thing ever, and they're going to disagree with me, so to each their own. So let's go quit out of here. How far are we into the game? Yeah, let's go queue up another Joust game. Why not? That game was super short. I don't think I really got a good chance to show off what Joust was about. So we'll go queue up for another game and see what we can get ourselves into. I will say that I'm looking forward to getting a conquest with you guys, though. You know, I think it's a really fun game mode. You know, yes, it's complex at first, and there's going to be a lot going on, and there's going to be a lot that you don't know, and you might be quite a bit overwhelmed to begin with, but we'll try to break it down for you over a series of videos and hopefully make it so that when you start jumping into games, you can, you know, feel somewhat confident that you're on top of things and at least have some idea of what you're doing. So we'll sit in the queue. Why don't I grab some water? It's like, I mean, it's amazing how much we've actually already covered in the game. You know, when it comes to damage and protections and you know, the basics of building and the relics. So, but I think, you know, and for some of you, you know, maybe Arena is like the most fun thing that you've ever experienced in your life, and you're just gonna play Arena all the time, or maybe Joust is like the best thing ever, and you have two friends that you like that, and you all really like Joust, right? So if you don't want to, you know, play Conquest, that's completely up to you. But I think that, you know, Conquest really allows you to show your own skill. So I'm gonna play Neith this game. I want to go damage character because when we get to Conquest, you'll see how hard it is to carry your team or teammates when they're bad when you're playing a tanky frontline character. It is next to impossible. So and okay, but we got a good team comp though. Bari's a damage dealer. Mulan is kind of a hybrid character. Can kind of go tankier, can kind of go damage. So hopefully she'll go a little bit more on the tankier side. Of course, we won't know until the game progresses. So there's that. Okay. So I see the other team lock in, and I'm already looking at, okay, who do they have, right? So they got a Chalk, they have a Nuwa, they have a Susano. So Nuwa ult can do a decent amount of damage and can finish you off with your low health. So that's something to be concerned about. But what I'm really looking at here as a damage dealer is that the Chalk ult can silence me, and the Susano has a knockup on his Tornado ult, and also has some abilities where he can chase you. And slow you, so I'm definitely looking at beads probably for this game. And what do I want to go here? I'm gonna go the intelligence build for Neith. So Neith, remember, on her 1 and her 2 does have intelligence scaling. So going intelligence is a viable option on Neith. I am going to go. I'm gonna go Spirit Deso first. I could go Gem of Focus. I don't think that's gonna be very valuable for me though. Here,
Always nice to have
on a smaller map, like again, you haven't seen how big the Conquest map is yet if you've been following the series, but on a smaller map like this, the extra movement speed really isn't. I mean, like it is always valuable, right, to be able to, you know, run at people or run away from people, but.
Minions have spawned.
So one thing you'll notice is that the Bari doesn't seem to have any mana. That's because Bari doesn't use a mana bar. There are a few gods in this game that don't actually use mana, so they're rare, but they do exist. So okay, and then there's a little pop up there that tells you what it does. So it's giving us extra mana. It doesn't look like the enemy team went for. Okay, so they probably went for purple, but we'll grab this for the squad. We'll leap, get out of there. Okay, yep, so that's what I'm talking about. Like, the Susano can grab me, and I died. So, I wasn't really expecting that to happen. If I would have beads that instantly, maybe I would have lived, but I don't know. It's hard to say. All three of them were there, so kind of put myself in a bad position.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Let's dodge the Nuwa there ability. Okay. So our Mulan right now is low health. She should just go back to base and get back up to full health. She should not just be twiddling her thumbs, just kind of like dancing around the back line. So I'm gonna call it a retreat. That makes it very difficult for me to walk up and clear the wave if we don't have a front line. Listen here, first death. What? Is she mad at me? I mean, I just told her to retreat. Like, I don't want to go for this attack speed camp here. So, he can. Oh wait, he can actually. I didn't know he could actually do that. That's kind of crazy. I didn't actually know he could do that. Oh, I'm kind of dead. They didn't run at me, thankfully. They probably could have killed me there because I backflipped into the wall. Let's run up the chalk ult here. We're gonna hit him with that. We hit him with the root. I do want to try to ult him, but it's gonna be difficult because his teammates are probably gonna block this. So yeah, it's gonna be not happening, unfortunately, but. Okay, I got a decent amount of gold here. That's back. We want to go here. Oh, okay. It's really important as somebody who doesn't like. I mean, I do have a healing ability, but it's just avoiding damage whenever possible is definitely a big thing. Can I leap over? Yeah. So that's one thing with certain gods, right? You can leap over walls, and so knowing how and what gods can do that is definitely quite helpful. This guy going aspect. Okay, so he's aspect shock. So that pool there does extra damage to me. So that's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Yeah, dude, they've got like so many of these like big. It doesn't do a lot of damage to me, but it just like slowly will kind of dwindle down my health and create problems for me. So. Trying to hit the Susano here. Okay, cool. We got a kill. That's big. I think we could run at these guys and kill them, but I guess my teammates don't want to go in, so. So you also notice up at the top, it tells you how much gold your team has and how many kills each team has. Gold is by far the way more significant statistic. Plenty of times you can be... sorry, I'm debating what item I want to go here, and I think I am actually going to go Gem Focus. So... but gold is the way more significant stat. You can be down in kills but up in gold. Rare in Joust, but definitely possible in Conquest. And I mean, if your team has more gold, that means they have more items, right? So just as levels give you an inherent advantage, if you're ahead in items, you're also going to be doing more damage and having more defense. So that is big. Oh, I missed that. Okay. So now I was gonna ult here. Not really sure what for. Going Soul Reaver first. That's an interesting choice. Alright, so we got a good combo off on there, right? We hit him with the 1, then we hit him with the 2, and then we hit him with the 3. Alright, now we're gonna kill the Chalk. Very nice. Good job, team. don't think. Maybe she has. Yeah, I was like, I don't think she has enough damage yet to kill me. I'm gonna ult that. I got the kill. Okay, I didn't think I would kill her, but okay.
Oh, that is so cool.
Where do I want to go next? I think I want to go Doom or actually I'm gonna go Divine Ruin because it does have the low lightning attacks, which could be valuable here in a closer, cramped environment. I'm also gonna go for this mana camp. They can go ahead and take that wave. So we have all 4 kills for our team, as you can see. So, you know, we died early, right? But we turned it around, right? So that's big. That's definitely one of the big things in this game that I do see a lot is that, like, once somebody dies once, they kind of just, like, keep dying and can't get it to stop. So that's a good ult by the Mulan. Nice job, Mulan. So I do kind of just want to, like, push this. So the enemy team right now is just on respawn, so we can just get the minion wave in here. We can just do damage to this tower, right? We're gonna get a little bit of extra gold because we're knocking this tower down. But at some point, we want to get out here. So Mulan probably didn't retreat soon enough, so she's probably gonna die to this. I'll try to hit with some peel. So they're going for the red camp right now. We definitely can't contest that because we're low health, right? So you gotta be smart about that. Yeah, I got a decent amount of gold here, so let's just go ahead and back. Reasons to back: you're low health, or you have enough for like a couple of tier 2 items or a tier 3 item. You don't want to be sitting around with like 5,000 gold because that's a lot of damage or defense that you're missing out on potentially. And that could definitely be enough damage to dramatically change how a fight goes for your team. So, don't want to be... I think they might have just grabbed the purple over here. I think yeah, they definitely did. We'll see if they, like, lazy back or anything. No? Okay. So, sometimes people will, like, back in, like, weird spots. And so, sometimes you can catch them off guard. Alright, I mean... I knew I was safe, so I didn't feel the need to beads that. A good kill by the squad there. I'm low health, so I want to play this like very carefully. I hit her though. She Aegis, which is unfortunate. If she didn't Aegis that, we probably would have full comboed her and gotten a kill. So... And when I say combos, right, I mean like a sequence of abilities that quickly does a lot of damage to somebody. And so that's something that as you learn the character, you'll learn. So yeah. I kind of want to back here because we probably have enough to finish off that tier 3 item. And there are people that died are going to be coming off the respawn, so we're going to be looking to go into some penetration next. You definitely want to go your penetration on your first 4 items. That is by far the current meta and has usually been meta. So to go against that would be very naive. But we'll talk more about builds when we talk about conquest and roles and what characters do. Okay, Arbari just decided to like base tank their entire team and die, so I also might be getting a little bit of server lag there. It feels like there's a large delay on some of my autos, but it's like, yeah, it's like I knew this Susanna was looking to do something. Okay. I'm not sure how I ended up with an extra tier 2 item. Maybe I actually bought the wrong thing? I don't know. Anyway, not super important right now, but we're up to almost 1,800 gold. Looks like my teammates are gonna go for the red camp, so I'll let them go for that. Right, like this 10% penetration item, definitely big to pick up. So that's for sure. I'm just gonna leave this extra tier 2 item in my inventory, right? It's not worth selling it unless there's a good chance I'm gonna need it later, so it's not worth selling right now. If our Mulan can get a pull on somebody, we might, especially the new R, the Susanna, we can probably kill them, so... But it's like, I also don't... okay, now they decide to go in just as I'm about to... Okay, so they went on the chalk, unfortunately, which is... kind of unfortunate. Yeah, I might actually be dead here. We'll see. That's gonna do a lot of damage to me. Oh, actually not very much. I'm gonna... Oh, I tried to hit the guy. Trying to do some damage here for the team. Okay, cool, we got 2 of them. I missed. I also missed that, but we're good. Get pulled by the Mulan. So right now the enemy team isn't up, right? So I'm not worried about dying. I do got to keep an eye on their respawn timer, though. The new wall also did just ult, so I know that her ult is not up. So that's something that you'll learn, right? Is that like, okay, they just used their ultimate. That means it's on cooldown for a little bit. So I don't need to worry about whatever they got going on. I'm probably just going to do the wave there and then get out. Because I don't want to die to these guys. So... Okay, what the hell is going on here? So we're gonna go Rod. Checking out the items here. Yeah, that's probably why my attack speed's so low. They got Spectral on the other team. Our Mulan's been going tanky, which has been helpful. Oh, looks like they're in a fight over here. So we want to try to get here. Okay, lag. So they were probably going for that knight over there. Oh, that lined up. And so it was good that we got him off of that. It is unfortunate that our what's her name? The Bari died, but because I do have the majority of the damage and the kill. So actually, right, we can check like the stats, right? We can see that I'm top of most of the categories and Mulan is top mitigated, which makes sense. What are they doing? Oh, they might be actually going for this again. No, maybe not. Susano isn't there. I'm also 3 levels up on this Susano. Okay, never mind. I don't want to go in on him here. Yeah, unfortunately I wasn't able to follow up off of that. Okay, but this we can follow up on. Oh, that was a good Aegis by her. She definitely would have died there if it wasn't for that. Don't forget to auto too. I see a lot of new players forget to auto, which is definitely a huge loss in damage. So let's just kill that guy. Oh, that's not auto timed that pretty well there, unfortunately. I kind of rushed that, so that was definitely my bad. I'm gonna back here. So we have our starter. It's usually best to upgrade your starters as soon as you can, as it tends to give you a fairly large increase in stats and power of your character. So That would definitely be a good thing to pick up. Make sure to keep placing your wards. Susanna was a very good character at flanking, so... I was kind of going to look at this here. I'm going to let the Mulan walk in first, right? She's the front line, so... okay, it turns out it was a little bit of bamboozle. If we're going to go for... Okay, yeah, we can go for this. I feel like the other team's going to show up. I wish we had a ward, so that way we would know when they were coming. But we don't, so... I don't know if we got that or not. Oh, we did get it. Okay. Okay, we kept our teammate alive, so that's good. So what this does mean that the Phoenix is disabled, so it will not attack us, so we can walk into this. But it's also not necessarily a good idea because if minions aren't present, the tower and slash Phoenix will take reduced damage. So it's usually best to actually clear this, and then we can let our minions catch up, and we can chunk this down. We might even be able to go for end here. This might be enough to get us a W. Kind of saving my 3 here if we need the last burst of damage. These minions are kind of getting in the way though, so that's gonna be enough to get us a dub. Okay, there we go. So we had one game where we kind of got rolled at the beginning, but this game we ended up doing pretty well. 9-1-7. That's a very solid performance. We died early, right? But we came back, right? So that's a good lesson to learn. Just because you die doesn't mean the game's over, right? You can fight back. And so yeah, I mean, everybody on my team did their job. I'd say fairly well. I mean, sure, the stat line for the Bari isn't great, but they didn't have a bad build. They did a good amount of damage, and they contributed positively to the team. So that's all that one really can ask for. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I know this was a little bit of a longer video, but that first Joust game I didn't think was very exciting. So I decided to queue up another one. So if you're a new player, I hope you learned something new. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're a more experienced player, feel free to show this to any of your friends who might be new players. If you think I said something incorrect, or you have a tip for new players, or you think there was something important that needed to be mentioned, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe, and I will see you in part 6.